I got to take off that little pause at the end there. It kind of drags out a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back to the live stream. It's been a fun live stream weekend here at the old Mouse House. My co-host is waiting in the green room, waiting to come out. Steve Stern, my good friend. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah. So where's the craft services and all the nice things you're supposed to have in the green room, sir?
You know, I keep on telling you. Yeah, I keep on calling it the green room. There's no Twinkies back there. There's no drinks. There's no Evian water.
Nothing.
Hey, there I am. I found my button. Here we go. But it's good to see you, man. It's seeing your face.
It's true. This is true. So I saw Kevin's in the room. Chet's in the room.
Absolutely. There's Chet right now. Kevin, that's not very positive. Okay, just will me all of your art. Yeah, we had a really intense art auction last night, and everything's great. It went fantastic. It went fantastic. We had a piece that actually sold for $650, which was amazing. Chet is like, think I'm going to do a new photo for my collection.
What was the picture of?
It was a piece of Thalia, the cyber demon, and she's actually an original character that my good friend Chet owns, and he was able to outbid. He actually outbid another really awesome collector and friend that we have at the show. I think his last bid was $550, and I think Chet bid $650, and that was all she wrote. That was the evening, and then we had a couple other pieces that we auctioned off that went really well. We had a funny piece that was kind of a Rob Liefeld homage. that was funny. And my only rule for that Rob Liefeld piece, because it was just like a parody piece, right? I just did this parody piece, and it's already boxed up. I'm so sorry I don't have it like right now to show you. Everybody's bid needed to be funny. That was the only condition. Yeah. So it was going for $1, then $2, then it went for $69, which was funny.
Yeah.
And then it finally went for like $89.95. So it had to be like the rollback prices with tax and everything. So hey, Josiah's in the house. How you doing, Josiah?
Hey, Josiah. Hey, I'm looking forward to being with Josiah 2 weekends from now at LA Comic-Con.
That's right. What are the dates of the show? You say 2 weeks from now. What date is that?
It's Saturday, the 2nd of December, and Sunday, the 3rd.
Awesome.
I'll be at Josiah's booth, which is called Josiah is Right, WRITE. And I posted about it. I forget the exact number of the booth, but it's on the posts. Josiah can remind us right now if he wants to.
Josiah's agreeing with you that in the green room you should at least have a cheese tray at the very least.
But I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be great.
Kevin is sending you some digital crackers and cheese.
Digital, huh? They're about as tasty as NFTs, I would imagine.
Kevin, you in the room. Let's see. I know you wanted it for $69. Kevin was the one that bid $69. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, it's
That was
hilarious.
Josiah says he is well prepping for LA Comic Con. Excellent, excellent.
Well,
Yeah.
tell us the booth number again.
Yeah,
Just
there
so
you go. Yeah,
everybody.
it's like oh yeah, the show goes from the first to the third. Thank you, Kevin. Josiah says it's booth
2027.
2027. That's right. That's right. So
Right, right.
that's
And I'm
cool.
going to
That's
be there
hmm
for 3 hours each day, Saturday and Sunday from noon to 3 p.m.
right, right.
I
Awesome.
haven't done LA Con in several years for just various reasons. It's not a con that typically First Comics does.
hmm
So I suspect I'll see a lot of old and hopefully some new friends at the LA Con because, like I said, I haven't done it in several years actually. Yeah, so it'll be
Gotcha,
great.
gotcha. It'll be great. Yeah, that's really great. That's it's close by you. It's close by to you. You're right over there.
Yeah, and also, and I'll bring, people
Mhm.
DM me and they email me that are going to it,
Mhm.
asking if I have certain books that I can bring.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
am going to be bringing some of them. The only, problem is some of these books are like really costly.
Sure, sure.
But I do bring them because like when I was at Comic Con, I think it was a Comic Con, right?
Right, right.
Um, the fellow who Josiah knows because his store is in Josiah's locality of Huntington Beach. What does he say here?
Josiah says there will be a 5 foot tall Zen pending the resolution of printing issues, which should be good, I
Oh,
think. So
how
hopefully
cool is
there'll be a
that?
5 foot tall Zen image there. That's
How
awesome. That's
cool
awesome.
is that? How cool. That's excellent. This is news to me, Josiah. So that's very exciting.
I
That's
imagine there's books that you're to be taking that you'll have with you that you typically don't take to other shows since it's a bit closer to where you live.
yeah, yeah,
So,
for sure, for sure.
I'm sure that if somebody's going to find you at the booth, they're probably going to have a selection of books that you'll be able to sign for them on the spot that they
Right,
wouldn't be able to see or just get at another show, just because it's hard to travel with all that stuff, especially when
right.
you're going to
Well,
guests.
absolutely,
All that.
and
Mhm.
it's also true that people should always bring any books they have in their collection, and I
Mhm.
always sign them. And some people uh, ask for money to sign. I've never
Money for
done that.
signatures.
I've never done that, and I never will.
It's
I'm
a
going on.
travesty.
I know
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
not supposed to say, never say never, but I'm saying it. I would just, I just can't bring myself to ask people for 1 red cent for
Yeah,
my signature. If they've bought a Zen book or a Zen
ex-
action figure and they want
right.
it signed, they're damn well getting it signed for no money. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so
That's what
bring
makes it
your
fun.
stuff,
That
folks.
was
Yeah,
always the fun thing. It's like it gets stuff signed at shows. You want to bring stuff with you to the show and get signed.
right.
And this is stuff that they already bought. This is
Yeah,
you've already supported us. So
exactly. And I don't, by the way, I do not hold it against people who do charge for their signatures. Everybody has their own agenda and or financial
exactly,
needs,
exactly.
right?
This just happens to be our mission statement because I share the same mission statement. I don't charge for signatures. I think
Right.
I, I can't see myself in a position if I was actually higher up on the totem pole or whatever. I think I would have even less reason to charge for a signature because if I'm higher up on the totem pole of whatever the entertainment industry is, that means I'm doing better financially anyway. I don't need to charge for signatures. The signatures are supposed to be something fun that
Yeah.
you can get. Let's see. Chet says, well, Nira was taller than Zen, if I remember right. So I can't have Nira like 6'9" Kevin was mentioning that the Zen image can't be life size. He always saw Zen as taller.
Well, okay, so let me talk on that a little bit, okay?
Sure, sure, sure.
Just as Zen's face has
Good
changed
point. Good point.
from Dan's original no nose, no mouth to
Mhm,
now a nose and a mouth,
mhm,
just as
mhm,
his visage has changed, so has his height. In the original Zen books,
mhm.
Zen was a very tiny, small
He was drawn really
ET.
small. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He was. He was.
Uh, and so two things that happened as time went by is one, Zen's face grew, okay, and the other thing is Zen's stature grew, okay, and when like for example when Jay Lee did that iconic cover, okay, that has had so many iterations over the years. When he did that, Zen was a bulked up, muscular, obviously.
Yeah, he definitely looked like he looked like a dude that was like 6'1". He looked like a big 6'1" kind of guy. I think I've always kind of drawn him as a 5'11" kind of guy.
Well, that's like, close enough to 6'1".
Yeah, because he's always kind of like hunched over too, so it's like kind of. But yeah, it's like I like his action movie stature.
Yeah. So
I do appreciate your comment though, saying that our signature is part of our art. This is true. I'm not going to stop anybody from donating at the table if they wish to. That's always nice. I mean, it's just a show of support, and that's always appreciated. But I don't think I'm never going to actually charge, for simply just for a signature. Chet says, so what is Zen tallness in the new series then?
Oh yeah, Zen's a 6 foot tall dude with a face.
He's a big guy. Yeah, we'll just say he's 6 foot. Yeah, we'll just say he's 6 foot.
He's a 6 foot tall dude.
So he's probably looking eye to eye with Nira, because Nira is essentially 6 feet. It's like Allura in the Cyber Angel mythos, as it were. Allura is actually a bit bigger than Nira. Nira was the big cheese, as it were, in the book, when she was really the only Cyber Angel story that we were telling at the time. But there's other Cyber Angels with different types of abilities and different focuses and stuff. And Allura is kind of like the tank. She's the big woman on the team. So. Let's see here. I was about to say Jay Lee Zen was a giant. Yeah, Jay Lee's Zen was a big guy.
Yeah, well, that was sort of I would say that was the paradigm changer, because when Jay did that, and of course we just said to him, do whatever the hell you want to do. Okay?
Oh yeah, Jay Lee, come on. I want to see his vision. That's the whole point. Is to see it from
and once that happened, and then in that very book that has the Jay Lee cover, that the interior art was by another very talented guy, Tatsuya Ishida, right? Zen in that book is like a 6 foot tall dude, okay? But he didn't have a face in there yet. What is Kevin saying here?
Kevin says, I will just picture him as being akin to Wolverine in the comics. He's short in stature, but with a personality that is way bigger than he is physically.
That's a very good thought.
So that's a good point. That's a good point.
But when he was cast in the movies, he was not a short dude, now was he? Because you know who played him. Right.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the art and the iteration of the character. It all depends on the recipe of who's making the stuff in the kitchen. It's like so. Yeah, Hugh Jackman is not 5'2".
No. And
so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and that just kind of brings up everything about how malleable comics are. Do you recall when Sergeant Fury was a Caucasian dude? Because he was.
I do not.
You do not? Seriously?
Yeah, I do not.
Nick
that's because
Fury.
I didn't read Sergeant Fury, so I have a hard time remembering Sergeant Fury.
Back,
that wasn't one of my books. Yeah.
Okay, but like back in the 60s when the book started, it was Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. And it was a serious World War II kind of book, right? And he was a Caucasian dude. And then I remember there just came a point where, and I think it started when Mark Millar was writing Ultimate Marvel, Ultimate X-Men, or Ultimate something or other, where suddenly, just like with the snap of a finger, he became African American, right?
Right.
And that was cool. It might have thrown some people. I mean, but why not? In comic books, I mean, that's one of the beauty things of comics. You can kind of like, kill people, bring them back, change their
what you
race,
said before,
their
what you
nationality.
said before was really on point. This comic book characters are so malleable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know how many like every single time I pick up a Batman comic book, that character is always drawn through the eyes of that artist. You know, so the suit, the stature, the tone, the build of Batman, and the way the story is being told, very different from every other artist next
Yeah.
to them. You know, it's like, you know, but
See,
there
I
might be
like what Josiah just wrote. He said he sees Zen as like Bruce Lee in space, right? And
right, right.
that's a really
Yeah.
cool idea.
Hmm.
And let's
That's pretty much
say,
that's an on point thing to say. Yeah, of course.
yeah, and let's say that we finally, after decades, get
Hmm.
the long-awaited Zen live-action movie, which I have written a script for with
Right.
a director buddy of mine whose
Hmm.
name I still cannot divulge,
No,
okay, for various
you gotta keep your
contractual
secrets.
reasons. But let's say that movie happens.
Right.
Whoever gets cast as Zen will actually become, that'll become, for the time being at least, the definitive Zen. He may be tall, he may be short. We don't know.
It might be Peter Dinklage,
Yeah,
Wolverine
well,
for the
that would
win.
be very interesting.
Way back when. Let's see. Nick, how you doing, my friend? Nicholas
Hey,
Gear
Nick.
in the house. And
Nice.
Josiah says Nick Fury became Samuel L. Jackson in the Ultimates, and that's true.
That's
It's
it. In
like
the right, it
right.
was
It's
one
like
of the
the
ultimate.
films. Yeah, the live action films actually started instructing the or affecting the drawn comic book at that point. And Nick
Right.
Fury, Sam Jackson as Nick Fury is just that's too cool. It's that was I was always super happy with that.
Oh yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what do we have here?
He's the best. Kevin, art imitates life, imitates art. Yeah, exactly.
Right, and so on, ad
Round and round we
infinitum.
go. Right.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of talk about how well or not well the new Captain Marvel or Marvel's movie is
Yeah, it's
doing.
going back and forth. I haven't seen the film yet myself. I don't know if I'm
Right,
going to wait for streaming just because there's so much negativity. It's
right.
like, do I take the
But
time to go to the theater for a minute or?
but correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
Brie Larson, the actress, right?
Uh-huh.
She is Captain Marvel,
Right.
correct? But here's another thing. Captain Marvel wasn't initially a woman.
Oh,
Did you?
yeah. We're talking about Shazam now. It's like we're talking about Captain Marvel. We're talking
No,
about
well, no, that even complicates it more.
that complicates it even further. We're talking
Right,
like there's decades of of litigation
right.
to go
But I mean,
through
even within the Marvel universe,
within
because
itself. Right.
the original Captain Marvel was a Fawcett publication, and
Hmm.
then of course they were sued by DC as too close an imitation of Superman, and they won that. But then,
Hmm.
Marvel came out with their Captain Marvel,
Uh-huh.
and who was initially, as I'm sure you know, a guy. He was not a woman. So what doesn't change? What cannot change? That's the
Yeah.
beauty of comic
Yeah.
books. It's as wide open as one's imagination, isn't it?
Well, there's a lot of things that Marvel has done with the films that didn't affect me at all because they were based on a lot of books that I never was like a huge fan of reading like Thor until the movies came out. Then it's like, Thor was a character that always popped up in other comic books that I read, but I was never actually picking up like the Thor series and getting all of the lore behind him. And it wasn't until the film came out that I was really, really on top of it. As long as Zen doesn't turn purple,
No,
long
he's
as you
not the
don't,
purple
long,
people eater.
long as you don't do that. Yeah, Kevin is actually correcting us a little bit. Marvel remember that it was originally a dude. It was originally a guy.
Captain or Marvel,
Marvel,
right?
Marvel. Yeah.
Marvel, right? I
Hmm.
guess
Yep.
that's how you get around spelling it, so it's not Captain Marvel. Exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, it's like that's the thing with comics that it's a double-edged sword because you can make changes and it's all up to the fans. It's all up to everybody who reads the book, whether or not it's a cool change or not. It's how they
Yeah.
digest it, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, I'll tell you about
so
another.
it's sometimes the changes are fantastic, and sometimes the changes are like, oh, what were they thinking? That sort of thing. So
Well, I'll
you
tell
always
you
have to.
a really cool Zen change.
Mm,
And Dan Cody speaks about this in
mm,
the interview he did with Josiah at the Josiah is Right site, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That Josiah put that interview up just, I think, last week. And in it, Dan explains how, if you look at the cover of Zen #1 from 1987, Zen's got a bloody spear on the cover, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And for marketing and just general concerns about violence, we
Hmm.
changed that spear into the photon stick. And that to me
Right.
was, the greatest thing, because the
Hmm.
photon stick is such a signature weapon for
That's
Zen.
his signature thing. You see the photon stick without Zen, and you know it belongs to Zen. It's like that's one of those things.
Yeah.
Josiah writes in, Rick Jones was Captain Marvel at one point, or he inhabited his body. It's all a blur.
That's right. Right. Well, it's as wide open as one's imagination can carry
Right, and
one, right?
that's the whole point. That's kind of the point of it, really. It's like you're trying to put your imagination on paper, and sometimes it's like you make a left turn when everybody else thinks you should make a right, or you make a turn that nobody thought of before. That's like, you know what? I didn't know that I wanted that. That's actually the hardest as a writer. You understand, Steve. You're a dedicated writer. Trying to think up of stuff that people don't know they want yet. that
Yeah.
they'll think is actually super cool when they read it on the page and they don't see it coming, and when they
Oh,
do
yeah.
experience it, it's like, oh, that was cool, that was a great idea. It's like, so that's a hard job. That's a difficult job.
Oh, yeah. Coming up, with new characters and
Hmm.
stuff that you feel that people will want to get behind. And I've got some new characters already. Well, okay, I'll show you. I'll show you something.
Okay, show me some stuff. I'm gonna switch my
Okay.
camera down at my
And you start
Yeah, I'm
drawing.
gonna start sketching while we're talking.
Right. So here's a really nice looking cover, right? You see that foil? Can you see it kind of like
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's reflecting really good. Yeah.
okay. Now this was issue #7
Hmm.
in the Entity Comics Zen Color Series #1. Okay. And the guy on the cover of this book has only appeared basically in this book and a little bit in a couple of others. And his name is Vox, Vox.
Hmm.
He's this super powerful, super cosmic, interdimensional entity. And I created him in this book, right? And he played a very important part in this book, which I'll tell you about in a sec. But the reason I'm showing him, it relates to what Bill was saying,
Hmm.
that I want to bring this guy back big time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm looking to do that after Bounty Wars.
Gotcha.
He's not in Bounty Wars, but I'm developing a new series which centers around this guy, Vox. And
We always have to think way down the road.
right, it is shiny, Kevin. Now let me tell you what this guy did. Okay, now as we all know, Zen in his environmental iteration fought Lord Contaminus and his Contaminator guys. Okay, like Sulfura, Garbage Man, and Oil Slick. Okay, Smogger. And then sometimes people ask me, well, what happened to those characters? What happened to those characters, right?
Yeah.
What happened to those characters is in this book. And what happened to those characters was Vox. The Contaminators were aboard a space shuttle. And it became clear that they were going to pose a really bad problem to humanity unless they were somehow disposed of. And
I see what you did there.
And I won't get into the details, but Vox disposed of them. So this is the guy who is responsible for the banishment of the Contaminators, you might liken it a little bit to like the Negative Zone or the Phantom Zone.
Oh, I
Okay,
got you. Okay.
and that's why
Like a
those
literal banishment. Yeah.
right, and that's why those characters have not been seen since. Could they come back? Just like we're talking about comic books, anything can happen, right? But this guy is coming back, Vox. I just think he's a very, very cool character. And like I said, he only appeared, this is the first appearance of him in this book. And I'm just wondering if anybody watching this, either now or, when it replays on YouTube, if anybody has this book. Again, it's another landmark book in the sense that it's the first appearance of Vox. So be interested to see. And I will bring one copy of this with me to the LA Con. There we go.
Yeah, that'd be good to have. I mean, it's like I haven't seen that cover in so long. That's
Yeah.
giving me a flashback.
Yeah.
So I think I remember. I think we colored that cover. I think I remember coloring that one.
You colored everything, Bill.
I did.
So Bill's already hard at work on a new piece here.
Yeah.
So you
yeah,
sold the piece yesterday for like what?
Oh yeah,
$600.
that was definitely the piece of the week. We sold that one for $650.
And who bought that?
Chet actually bought that piece.
Chet. Is
Yeah,
Chet your
amazing.
number
Yeah,
one collector?
He was a big winner yesterday. Yeah.
Is Chet your number one collector?
You know, he's part of the inner circle of people that are supporting the studio right now. I'll tell you that right now. And he's also our silent partner, our good friend, keeping the studio going. We got a lot of project ideas that are in the mix, as it were.
Josiah says Vox could inhabit Rick Jones.
Anything is possible.
Well, no, that's not possible. Probably, Josiah, because that would be a trademark and copyright issue.
Well, there you go. Let's see. Chet has never seen Vox before, so let me see. So that's there. Josiah says, I joked with Steve, I'll end up buying all the rare books he brings.
Well, we don't want to break your bank, Josiah.
No, collect them up, Josiah. You know you want to. You know you want to pick them up. Chet says, in theory, yes. In theory, says Kevin. Okay, so they're gonna sick James then. Dick James. We'll just rename him. He's Dick James.
Dick James. So I wonder
Richard James.
I wonder if Cal Burke, owner of McFly's Comics in beautiful Huntington Beach, California, who bought from me some key books, including Zen #1 from '87, and he bought from me at Comic-Con a copy of 6A. That's the very first appearance of L'Amour Supreme's art, first published book, right? And but those books were kind of expensive, Josiah. We don't want to, like I said, we don't want to break your bank. I will have, I guess I'll bring one 6A with me just so people can see it. But that book, you still cannot find it anywhere. I did remember I told you guys last week, I went to this site, I found this Mercari, and I saw a lot of a lot of 12 Zen comics, and in there, sure enough, was a copy of 6A. Yeah. So I've got that here right now.
Oh, and just so everybody knows, because I didn't post about it earlier, that the sketch that I'm doing is the one that we're going to be giving away at the end of the show. So just while we're chatting, I'll be working on this here, and then we'll do a little number draw at the end of the episode. And that's about, I would say, 15 minutes from now, maybe 20 minutes from now at the most.
So, Bill, tell everybody about our special guest for next week that we haven't announced yet.
We have our first special guest. It is quite the honor to be our first special guest, but it is somebody who shares a large piece of Zen history. And because and this is also somebody that I co-founded an entire imprint with in order to publish Zen in the first place. So my good friends. We're going to have the incomparable Don Chin himself here.
A man, Don. Next
he's,
week.
yeah, he's going to be here
week.
next. He's going to be here next week. We're going to have him as a special guest, and we'll share some stories. We'll talk about Zen. We'll talk about Entity Comics.
Yeah.
And our time together doing comics, from the good state of Virginia. That's when we first founded Entity Comics. We founded Parody Press together first, and we were publishing together for quite some time, for a few years.
Don's got a lot of great stories, an amazing history, not only with Zen, but other things like the black belt radioactive hamsters, and his very early association with Sam Keith. So I'm going to be basically shutting up next week, and I'm just going to be letting Don talk, because it's going to be kind of revelatory in terms of how this whole enterprise happened.
Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah. Don has he knows so many people. He's discovered so many people. Like, there's so many people that worked with Entity Comics and with Parody Press that a lot of names that are well known in the industry. They've gone on to do lots of other well-known projects, and just good people all the way around. And I think it's amazing how many people Don has actually discovered and brought into the comics world, into our little hobby here, and we like to tell stories.
Has Josiah? I'm wondering if Josiah has interviewed Don for this major Zen documentary, as it were, that Josiah has been working on.
Well, Josiah might not be able to answer. He says it's bedtime for the kids. He's got to run. Bill will be doing a cover for Young Zombie, available on Kickstarter December 1st. I am going to be doing a cover for Young Zombie. So, yeah, please be on the lookout for that.
Thanks,
Josiah also says Don is a great dude. Yes, he is. Absolutely. In fact, he wrote the first real comic book gig that I was ever a part of. So that's how I met Don in the first place. We did a book called X-Farce for Eclipse Comics back in the day. And Don was the writer on that. And that's how we met. And that's where the entire Parody Press imprint grew from that meeting. Josiah said before that Cal Shop is amazing. cash only vintage.
Yeah, amazing. I've got to get there. So, all right. Well, Josiah, you go put the kids to bed.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week, and Don Chin will be here with us.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And plus, I don't remember the last time that I had Don and Steve in the same room, even though we're talking about virtually. So I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, we were like peas in a pod for quite a few years there.
Yeah, I have a lot of gaps in my memory as to how the whole Zen entity enterprise happened. But I'm sure Don's got that, got a good lock on that. I was just doing so many things at that time, just, riding that tiger that was the Zen enterprise. And boy, I tell you, sometimes just things happen at the right time in the right place. That old thing, timing is everything.
Timing is everything. Timing and opportunity is literally everything. And when you're working on, especially independent comics, where you don't have you have a sizable publisher with First Comics. First Comics is a publisher to be reckoned with. But back in the day, it's like even right now with some of the things that I do, doing independent comic books, people don't realize how difficult it is to actually, how much work it takes to keep your comic book alive, keep everything moving, keep everything going. So it takes quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of work.
Yeah, I've only been doing it personally for Zen for 36, going on 37 years. It's you got to have a love and a dedication and a persistence to
Yeah.
keep anything alive, much less a comic book enterprise.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of love, and
And a good group of people. Nobody can do something by themselves.
no, that's it. Without fans and without people supporting you, it's like it's not going to go anywhere. So that's the
And
bottom line.
that's why we appreciate everybody who joins us now for the live stream or even watches it, later at their convenience. But boy, this piece is coming along beautiful, Bill.
Oh,
Look at that.
thanks. Yeah, I'm glad you're liking it. Glad you're liking it.
Oh,
A couple more minutes. I'll throw in a couple little highlights here. We'll do a little quick draw, and next week's episode should be a little bit longer. We'll have some more things to talk about.
well done. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna have a little bit more going on next week. So I think that's going to be really cool.
Oh, it is. It is. But you're going to still have to draw something next week, Bill.
Oh yeah, I'll be sketching something while we're talking and while we're chatting.
That's great. Oh, by the way, want to wish everyone, whether they're hearing this now or later, a happy, healthy, safe, and prosperous Thanksgiving.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I realize that some people they call the holiday something else, or they call it Thanksgiving, or they call it whatever it is they call it. I tend to call it free food at the family's house. But however it is that you show the people that you care about, that you're grateful for them. It's like, oh, I hope everybody has a good week. I think
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
that is definitely important.
So, are you going to have turkey in your house, Bill?
I am not sure. I've got to say, I'm actually since I'm not I'm showing up for free food. I'm going to places. The food is there, so I guess
geez.
I'm at the mercy of the host. I may bring a snack with me just so I don't seem ungrateful.
You're right. Beautiful piece, Bill. Wow, look at that.
All righty then. Well, it was good to chat for a little while, and it was good to hang out. And you know what? We could do a little art auction. Or art auction. We're going to do an art giveaway.
Your child will be hitting midlife crisis soon.
No. Well, let's see here. Let me go to this little thing over here. And yeah, there we go. Art giveaway time. Art giveaway time. So let me grab a Post-it note real quick here. So that way, because I have the most low-tech way of doing this in the world.
It works. It works.
It works. So I'll jot a number down on a piece of paper.
A number from what, 1 to 20?
No, not even. Let's do a number from 1 to 10, because I think we have 6 or 7 people in the room or something like that. So okay. I am going to put this Post-it note next to Zen here. And you know what? If everybody would like to type in a number between 1 and 10, you could start typing in right now. And if I see the number pop up on the feed, the person
you win.
The person will win this piece. I'll just simply mail it to you. I'll give you my email address, so that way you can privately send me your mailing address. Kevin is already guessing over here with 1. We got 4. We're dancing all around it. So it's a number between 1 and 10. And we'll just keep this going until I see the correct number for a free Zen sketch. And maybe I'll throw in a sticker or something like that. So that way, Kevin, 69, dude. Kevin with a 6. All right, you're dancing all around. Everybody type in a number real quick, and we'll get this sent to somebody. A free little sketch. Can't go wrong with a free sketch. It's almost the holidays.
Yeah, it's a holiday. It's a Thanksgiving sketch.
$89.95, which was the absolute best. Oh, Beaver in. All right, $89.95 again. No, but Kevin Green says 3. Kevin, my good friend, you have guessed correctly My good
Wow.
friend Kevin with the winning number, with number 3.
Congrats, Kevin.
Everybody tell Kevin congratulations. He is the big winner for tonight. It was good to hang out with everybody. Let me see. Let me put this stuff away. Let me put these little banners away. We don't need to have all these little banners sticking out. There you go. I'm hitting so many buttons all at once. Oop. There we go.
No, Kevin wins. Kevin
I
wins.
can't keep track of it all. Okay, there we go. So, anyways, I got the drawing here. I'm going to put your name on this one, Kevin. Thank you so much. Thanks for playing with us. And let me see here. Let me switch cameras so that way. So Steve,
Bill,
any Zen news before we just go ahead and sign off for the evening, or?
Zen news. Well, nothing brand new for this week, but the big news.
The big news is Don is going to be our big guest next week.
That's a big thing. That's really big. I have not been on screen with my entity, Zen co-publisher. I think that's the term we utilized in years. So I'm really excited about it. So that's the big news next Sunday.
That's the big news for next week. Please be here. We'll be talking with Don Chin. I'll do up another little sketch that we can give away. Dances around and spreads glitter. I appreciate you guys. And then going into December, we'll probably start showing off a little bit of preview artwork so you guys can see what's going on. So, but in the meantime, it was good to hang out with you guys. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend, what's left of it. And we're going to see you here again next week, Sunday.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Good night.
Night.